Alright, so I've had to record this 3 times now. First audio I can't use because I recorded it at an hour I should not have been awake at. It is too depressing, and it's just not usable. And the second audio got corrupted, so that's fun now, isn't it? So we're gonna try this again. Hopefully it doesn't get corrupted again. If it does, I'm going to give up on making this video, and I'm just going to do another video when I feel like it, because right now, the only thing I feel like making is this, because my mental health has been horrible, and it's the only thing on my mind lately. I can't think of anything else to make a video on, so here we are. To put it as blunt as I possibly can, my mental health in the drain, in the sewer, in the sewage pipes. It's probably eaten by an alligator. Those things crawl in sewers sometimes, right? So yeah, let's talk about it for like the third time now. This is getting worse and worse. I have had an issue where I just for some reason can't take my written driver's test. Now, yeah, before you judge, I'm 18, almost 19, and I don't know how to drive. There are plenty of reasons for that, and I can't get into them right now. But I had planned to take the written driver's test last Wednesday. It is now 2 Wednesdays later, and I did not take it. And the reason the first time was because I got no sleep, because my thoughts, my inner thoughts, were doing magic that night. They were like, we are going to torture this man with thanatophobia, and we are also going to give him some self-loathing on top of that. And so I didn't get any sleep until the sun peeked over the horizon, which was probably like 6 a.m. Then I checked the time after I woke up from apparently sleeping, saw it was noon, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not taking this test this week. I will try again next week. Next week happens, and what ends up happening there is, oh, I sleep. But I did not sleep healthy. I was like fidgeting around in my sleep. You ever heard of sleepwalking? Kind of like that, but imagine I was going through The Exorcist right now. My body was doing whatever it felt like while I was asleep. And the only reason I know this is I had like a vision that I sat up in my bed, like probably half conscious, and then I just fell over, and that's how I woke up. And yes, I woke up in that position, which means that definitely did happen. And then not only did I wake up in probably the most violent way I've ever woken up, well, one of anyway, I had a painful migraine. It was horrible, and I felt horrible. So I decided to not take it that week either. And now here I am, contemplating if I should even take it at this point, because it feels like every single time I try and set my mind towards something, my body's like, we're either going to act too early, or we are going to make this man sleep the worst thing known to mankind, and just make it so that he won't do anything. And that's been the dilemma with my driver's test that I've had to face. Like I mentioned before, this is normal for me. Anytime I'm like, hey, I'm going to schedule something to do this, and I don't do this very often, so you would think this wouldn't happen often, but it happens every single time. For example, and this is the example we are going to use of this dilemma, WWE lately have had international PLEs where they air them at 1 p.m. So I'm like, hey, the pre-show for some reason is at 11. I am going to go to sleep and wake up at 10:30. Tell me why I have woken up at like 9 each and every single time. And mind you, I'm not going to sleep at a reasonable time for me to be waking up at 9 a.m. I don't know what this could be. Should I go to the doctor for it? Probably. But why haven't I? Because there are many factors in my family that just, can't really make that happen instantly. As a matter of fact, me telling my mother one of my problems, it just doesn't work. So, yeah, I mean, I could probably go myself, but then there's other issues with that too. And the thoughts that have been keeping me up at night, oh boy, there's a lot of those. I'll mention some of them briefly. I've got thanatophobia, definitely, even though it's not diagnosed. Trust me, I know. Every single night before I go to bed, I am fearing the day that I am knocking at death's door. It happens every single night, almost. And each and every time, I get this gut-sinking feeling, and I hate talking about it right now, so we're going to stop. And then I feel like I, as an 18, soon-to-be 19-year-old, should not have went through all of the things that I have already went through. That is a lot of stuff, and I don't know if any of you would be willing to hear it, so I won't share it for now. If there is interest, I may consider, though, just, as a way to show people that they're not alone in these issues in particular. I don't have a problem sharing the problems, I just need to know if, others would be willing to listen. That's basically it. And it's because of these factors that I've been so exhausted every time that I walk around. It's not to say that I'm not physically healthy, because I feel like physically I'm fine. I constantly work out almost every day. I have rest day. And by workout, I just mean, using the basketball hoop in my backyard. I use it for hours at a time, and almost daily. So it's not weightlifting or anything, but it's good enough to make it so that every time I walk, I don't feel tired after taking like 20 steps. Mentally, because of these things that have been happening with my sleep schedule, I'm exhausted. It makes me contemplate if I have to stop doing some certain things with my friends, because what I mean is that a lot of them stream, a lot of them. Some I consider friends, others are friends of said friends, and they stream at some late hours, and trust me, they know that they're streaming at late hours, and I have been there to support them for a lot of those streams. I would say the majority of the time, I'm there maybe 92% of the time. But then it's getting to a point where interacting in Twitch chat is becoming very, very exhausting, and I know that I should probably fix my sleep. Then what that means is my friends, they don't really have my support as often, and I know that I shouldn't feel bad about that, because at the end of the day, I know exactly what they would tell me. They would tell me that, I should do what's best for my health and not really care about, all that other shit. But you've also got to understand, right? The one of them in particular, I don't want him streaming to no one, and so I've been in the Twitch chat, and it's fun. I'm not saying that I hate doing this. I don't. I really don't. It's just, I guess, I have exerted myself too much, and I'm using too much energy, because I don't know. It's getting to the point where I'm just, waking up, and I don't even feel refreshed when I do get good sleep. I just feel exhausted again, and, I don't know what to do about that. I mean, it's bad, and I really hope I don't have some sort of condition, because that would be awful. Even if I do stop that, that's not a 100% guarantee my energy is just gonna shoot back up. I highly doubt it, if I'm being honest. These things take time. They're not immediate fixes right away. I just know that if I would try to fix my sleep schedule up a little, I have a suspecting feeling, and it's a suspecting feeling because this has happened before. Every time I try to fix my sleep schedule, I managed to creep it up by the hour, at one point it was 5 a.m. consistently every single night. Then I creeped it up to 4. Then I got to 3. And then I think the best I was able to do was 2:30 before I just completely fucking relapsed and went all the way back down to 5. And I could try again, but I have a bad feeling that that's just going to happen again. So I don't know. We'll see what I can do about that. I'm also, by the way, I'm not asking for advice here. I'm just venting, alright? I'm just venting. Don't give me any unwarranted advice. Oh, and of course, would you look at that? I stopped the audio for a second to go help my mom with groceries and shit, and of course her and her boyfriend are arguing. That's another issue too that I can't really get into at this moment in time. Instead, what I'm gonna do is sign off, and hopefully I will see you in some form of positive video. It'll most likely be on the wrestling channel. Yeah, that's all. Take care, people.